everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to World Ideology War. This is round 2. The mod maker has heard my cries, at least, and your cries, to make it more even. So hopefully communism doesn't just steamroll immediately and we get a more even conflict out of it. Things that have changed. More units and factories have been given to some of the other factions. Democracy actually has an area here now. Instead of just Korea, they also have a little bit of going on there rather than just in Alaska. Some more land has been given to, fascism, neutrality and stuff, and it's been divvied up a little bit more. And the units and stuff as well have been more neutral in scope. Also, the capitals were moved. Neutrality is now in Paris, Berlin for fascism, and democracy has Athens by popular demand, as most people agreed that Athens well deserves to be democracy's capital. That's more or less where it was kind of somewhat born. And Moscow has stayed as communism's. Obviously, that makes sense. The only other city that even comes close to coming to Moscow, and it does not beat Moscow, would be like Beijing or Pyongyang or something like that. Maybe even Hanoi, but, nothing comes close to Moscow. When you think communism, you think good old Russia. So, we're going to see if these changes change anything. Will communism still come out on top, or will it be a tougher road for them to come out on top if they do, or will it just be as easy as it was before, because it was very easy for them before? Or will we see a new champion of the world? Will it be a fascist world? Will it be a democratic world this time? It's hard to say. Leave your votes in the comments of who you think will win this round. Remember, communism did win last round, but they have seen some nerfs, so you never know what could happen. So this is a more even fight between all of the ideologies now. So yeah, leave a comment of who you think is going to win. Leave a like as well. If we hit 100 likes on this video, I'll be a happy man. I doubt it, but because we didn't even hit it on the last one. But leave a like. If we hit 100 likes, I'll do a backflip that you'll totally never see. Totally can do a backflip, though. Don't worry about it. Also, you're probably asking, hey, didn't you say that today was going to be the all states independent thing? I've pushed that back to hopefully tomorrow because I can't get the mod working without it crashing. Every time I hit unpause for the mod, it just crashes immediately on Nova Scotia. I'm going to try it with BC and see if it does that as well, and see if it's just an unpausing thing. And I'm going to try to do observe and see if I can, do observe, unpause, and it works, and then take the nation over again and see if we have to do something weird like that. But I'm going to play around with it and see if I can get it working in some capacity so we can actually start that. But yeah, Nova Scotia did win the poll, just so you all know, almost 3-1. So that is the nation that we are going to try our hardest to play as. But if it doesn't work, we'll have to do BC. But we'll see what happens. It's just really annoying right now. So let's unpause, and all this shit's gonna kick off. There we go. I don't want to take over the nation. That would be really annoying. So we have democracy's got this hump in here now too. They were separated. They owned the Czech region up here, but they didn't own in between. That was owned by communists and fascists in between there. So it kind of suffocated out that democratic core. Democracy still has the Portuguese area of the Iberian Peninsula, as well as this area here in Sweden, Norway. I'm hoping the Democrats don't fuck up for the neutrality again, because neutrality had a good push in on communism for a while until the Democrats really pushed into neutrality's land in the north here. But we'll see whether that happens again, or whether somebody can actually go against the communists. Because if the communists can get snuffed out in Moscow, they don't really have much of a chance. That's the main area where they're putting up their main resistance, because they were almost wiped out in Indochina for quite some time, and they were little bits and pieces, in here, but they had survived. But we'll see whether they can do it again this time or not. I'm interested to see how they react. If you look right away, the fascists are getting kicked out of England by the Democrats. Wow, that's a surprising shift. The communists haven't moved in England at all. I don't even know if they have any troops in England, do they? Or do they take them all out? Apparently I can't observe. Hello? What the fuck? Am I not in observe mode? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm in observe mode. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's Maybe that's why the fascists aren't doing so hot. Thought I was in observe mode. There we go, now I am. So yeah, the communists, they don't actually have any troops in England. So, well, they have one. It's chilling out on some islands there. That's odd. Okay, so the Democrats could take England this time. They didn't have it last time. So that'll be interesting. The communists are looking for a second win here. I don't know whether they're going to get it or not, but they're doing quite well on the neutrality front of the Urals here. They're pushing out there quite well. They did really well there last time. The neutrals are pushing a little bit into the Balkans, though. This line here is quite static as well. The communists are actually losing on that line. It'd be interesting to see if the communists pull out another win again or not. I'm very curious whether they can. The Democrats are really pushing out on the Iberian Peninsula, too, and neutrality is looking like they're giving them a run for their money, too. Fascism is not doing very well in Europe at all. They have some... they're having some troubles. They have a hold line in southern Italy this time, so maybe they'll keep that longer than they did last time. They lost that almost immediately to the Democrats. But they're losing pretty heftily in Germany right now, which is not good. They put up quite a hell of a fight last time in Europe. They were the last survivors in Europe last time, but this time they look like they're getting smushed, which isn't fun. Yeah, that's not good at all. Not good at all. If we look to Asia, fascism, again, is stuck between democracy and the communists. They're not really too worried about the neutral. It looks like neutral's more or less just kind of defending on that line. They're not looking for much of a push, which is interesting. Excuse me. Democracy also has a pretty big foothold on Japan. Looks like they are invading the rest of it that the fascists own. I don't know if they have any troops sitting in Korea, though, which is not probably the greatest thing. If the neutrals really wanted to, they should take Korea quickly before the Democrats can land. It looks like the fascists have landed in parts of Siberia here. Looks like there's just like one guy. Oh, there's more than that. There's 7. Okay. I was like, is there just the one guy? Is he the sole proprietor here? Apparently not. The communists look like they're digging their little fingers into democracy's Balkan holdings, which might not be good. There's not really a lot of movement in the Caucasus Mountain region here. The fascists have a few troops that just got surrounded, which isn't fun, but, you know, what do you do? Looks like the fascists have pushed the Democrats to Istanbul as well, which isn't good for the Democrats. Democracy, though, is pushing in the Middle East a little bit. And they're pushing out of Burma as well. Girlfriend has a bad headache, apparently. Democracy is looking to link up its Scandinavian area here with its European area, which if they can do that and then defeat the communism in the Iberian Peninsula, democracy could take a dominant role in Europe, which would be very interesting to see. Because if they can unite and dominate Europe, they would have a good contest to the communists in Europe. They just have to unite all these forces. Because if they can do that as one united front against the communists then were fighting a two-front war, which wouldn't be good for them. They're still sticking their disgusting fingers in here, though. I don't like that, because if they choke off Greece, that's not good for the Democrats, if they can choke off Greece. The fascists have already lost Berlin, I do believe. So the fascists have already had to skip capital, which means they're probably the closest to capitulating right now. No, the communists are. Oh, no, sorry, the fascists definitely are. So the fascism is already 80% towards capitulation. It will capitulate if it has 50% or less this time around. So just so you know, they also changed the capitulation limits. So 50% or less will capitulate one of these guys. Now, I'm not sure who they're going to capitulate to. If they capitulate to the Democrats, which, excuse me, it looks like they probably will, then that's good for democracy, and that's bad for the commies. Because if the commies lose, the Democrats could take it. That's the thing. The fascists aren't doing very well against the communists in North America. Neither is really anybody else. The neutrality is doing better than it did last time. They pushed the fascists down into Mexico a little bit more, although the Democrats are coming from the north pretty heavy. So we could see the Democrats dominate North America as well. South America, not much has changed. There's really no dominant faction there yet. Democracy and neutrality have the most land, but that's not the winner necessarily. Same with Africa. Communism has a lot of land. They did take some from democracy. Democracy did own Cairo for some time. But, yeah, there's no real clear winner-loser here yet either. Fascism is doing a damn good job in Asia, however. I'm not sure where fascism moved its capital to either. Where did they put their new capital? I don't even know. I have absolutely no idea where they moved their capital to. It would be really nice if it said, you know what I mean? It was like, hey, moved it to here. It's probably in North America. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like New York or Washington. I don't see it, though. I really don't know where their capital moved to. I'm quite, I'm a little bit baffled here. It's very strange. Okay, whatever. They moved it somewhere. It's somewhere, and they're not doing very well. So, I really hope it's not in Europe, that's for sure. Because the fascists are basically about to lose hold of any of their European conquests. The Democrats linked up their troops through Montpellier here in Marseille. So they've linked up their troops from the Iberian Peninsula. They just really need to clean up this little communist pocket so they can't land. That would probably be a good idea. The fascists, though, are finished in Europe. There's no way in hell they're actually going to survive. They're going to survive that anymore. So the fascists are out of Europe. That's sad. Very sad. The Democrats are looking like the dominant faction in Europe right now. The Communists are doing a good job in the Balkan region, but the Democrats are doing a good job pretty much everywhere else in Europe. So if the Democrats can hang on, they might be okay. Neutrality as well is pushing. They almost have Leningrad, which is really good. If the Democrats can honestly literally just fuck off up here and let neutrality do its thing, we could see communism actually fall. Because if they lose this, they're done. There's no way they can recover after losing this. This is the bulk of their equipment, the bulk of their factories. There's just no way they can actually come back from a loss of Moscow and the Russian territory. If they lose that, they lose. They're also losing to fascism and somewhat democracy in Asia. Asia is a mess, an absolute mess. So communism is hanging on in pockets in parts of central China and northern China outside of Beijing. Neutrality is more or less mopping up what's left as fascists kind of just finger their way in there. It's really a gross border. Democracy is getting itself beat down as well by the fascists in southern China. They hang on to Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangzhou, but they really don't hold on to much else. That's kind of their last holdouts in there. They're doing really well in Indochina and Burma, parts of Bangladesh and India here. They're pushing the fascists in. They're trying to link up their Pakistani Middle Eastern Democracy Union. They also have southern India as well. They've taken that tip, so fascism's not looking too great there right now, and they're actually pushing fascism into Turkey as well. Not that they have much choice, because the communists are pushing into that area there too, so that's really not good for them. The Democrats really need to quickly mop up the mess that's in Western Europe. Take out the neutrality if they can. Neutrality, did they lose Paris? Oh, they did. They lost Paris to the communists. That's gonna be a big blow. That's quite a blow. The communists are 50-some% though towards capitulation. They're 54% right now. 53, 54. They keep taking a little bit of land. The fascists, however, are 91%, so that's not good. If the fascists keep losing land at this rate, they'll capitulate within, I'd say, another in-game week, which is not good for them. Yeah, neutrality is getting beat out. The communists are retreating to the sea, basically. They're fighting neutrality on the back end, trying to get back to the ocean here to get the fuck out of Europe, because they're not having a good time. Democracy is just murdering them in their bed here. They've got a few units sitting there, but the Democrats could easily cut them off from their 2 ports. They just need to walk in there, and that's it. They're going to surround those units. There's nobody in Valencia here. They could take that too. The Democrats really need to mop up that before they start going on a big frontal assault too. Neutrality is doing really well in the Urals right now. Communism's tried to make some pushes and stuff near the Caspian, but the northern Urals and stuff is mostly a neutrality held area. They're doing very well. The communists are not doing as good as they could. They've actually lost a lot of factories as well. A lot of those Asian factories and stuff are now gone, and democracy actually, I think, outdoes them now. Yeah, the Democrats are outdoing them right now, for factories at least. If we look into... Oh, Jesus, this is a different... What the hell happened? So the fascists got pushed back into New England, and now they're pushing into... well, they're south of Washington now, trying to cut off the communists. So this is where the communists are definitely losing a lot of their blood, is in North America. The Democrats, too, they were getting pushed down pretty hard in Florida, but looks like they're pushing back pretty heavy into North Carolina and Georgia. So that's really good. The fascists in Mexico as well, doing a little bit of pushback against neutrality, as neutrality gets sandwiched by democracy in the north. So fascism and democracy could fight it out for, you know, most of the area there. I'm very interested to see who fascism actually capitulates to when they do capitulate, because they've come back a little bit. They're only 81% now, and the communists are actually more heavy at 81%. If communists lose Moscow, they'll surrender immediately. They've lost way too much land. Way too much land. The fascists, though, are actually coming back. I'm quite surprised. Oh, there's their capital, Nagasaki. Okay. It's like, where's their capital at? Fascism, who was the first to capitulate, or at least looked like it, might actually not be. They're fighting back now, although if they do lose India and stuff here, that's not going to be good for them, because they're already fighting in Turkey pretty heavily. Not doing the best, but they're okay. The communists are starting to see a little bit of a pushback from the Democrats, as the Democrats start to really sandwich out and take Europe. So they're fighting for France, parts of northwestern France now, from the neutrality and the communists. And they're fighting the neutrality in northern Poland, parts of northern, very far northeastern Germany, and what they hold in the Balkans. So the communists are going to clean that up, I think. The neutrality, though, for their European holdings, still do hold Scandinavia pretty easily. They hold Leningrad, but there's not a lot of pushing going on there anymore, which is not good. If there's not a lot of pushing going on there, the communists could take that rally and push back, but hopefully they don't. The communists are starting to push back in the Urals, though, which is a bit concerning, honestly. I don't want them to do that. I'd rather them just die, honestly. Which they could do before they actually make that push. I mean, they're pretty... Them and fascism are not doing very well at the moment. The communists still do have the most units out of everybody, though. But I don't think they're very well equipped, if I'm honest. I really don't think they're very well equipped. And the Democrats have way more factories now. The communists have lost so many factories. So many factories. So they can't produce units like they could either. They're also not doing great on manpower. 807,000 men compared to 7.6 million for the fascists. The Democrats hold 3 million. So the communists are actually losing a lot of men. Excuse me. They've lost 1.37 million men, which is really not great. Ooh, neutrality is taking a hit too. I guess they've lost a lot of their European holdings. That's not good either. The only one really looking healthy right now is democracy. But again, we've seen fascism come back from like 98% dead. So we could see neutrality bounce back as well. They still have a huge holding in Asia. They still have their Scandinavian holdings for now. We'll see how long that actually lasts, but you never know. They still also have... you know, their holdings in South America and Africa. They're losing their North American holdings right now to the democracy and the fascists. Neutrality has their capital in Los Angeles. I wonder if they lose that, if they'll surrender. It's possible, because that'll be a lot of points gone. I'm not sure who they're actually losing to either. It might be democracy, but it could also be fascism. Fascism's taking a good amount of land too. I think everybody will get a chunk of neutrality out of this, out of that deal. The big problem is, of course, when they surrender, communism is going to be able to wipe through that area, because there's going to be nothing reinforcing it. So We'll see what happens with that one, because they are starting to push back on the Urals here, which is not good at all. Though democracy is pushing back in the Balkans here now too, so we'll see what happens. It looks like democracy is about to take out what's left of communist and neutral forces in France. They're pretty close to just taking that all. And parts of the Iberian Peninsula have surrounded some units. They're taking them out. Yeah, this just doesn't look good for anybody right now. Democracy and communism, I'd say, are probably your better bets at the moment. Definitely the stronger two right now, because they are pushing against neutrality despite of losing a lot. Fascism does have a good stronghold here, and their Asian faction here is still actually doing quite a good job, and they have this fucking mess here. And they are pushing against the Democrats in Japan. Honestly, Democrats, you should reinforce that and take their capital, because that would probably make them surrender. And they would surrender to you. So, I mean, you know, just saying. You may want to think about it. Just saying. LA has not fallen to the fascists yet. Oh, it just did. Neutrality is the first to die. Neutrality was just puppeted. What? And communism got all that land, so that gives them some more. Democrats took 11 states as well, and fascism took 1 state. Oh, they just annexed their the puppets. I see. Like, what the fuck just happened? So neutrality has fallen. The communists have taken those states, but of course they don't have any units right away to reinforce them, so we could see a big push of the fascists go out. Yeah, because the communists now have to go and reinforce that shit. So that might not be good for them, because now they're fighting two more strong enemies. But we'll see what happens for this line, because again, if they can push communism into Moscow, that's not going to be good. They still are pretty close to dying. So it could still go either way there. We'll see how this happens, though. I'm interested to see if that's it. If because communism took that, will they now steamroll again? Or will democracy still be able to keep that push on in Europe? I'm curious to see how that will happen. I am curious, because there was a very important front here. Neutrality held, and they were holding off them at the Urals as well. That was a very important front. So whether that's going to continue or not. The fascists are gaining ground, too, against the Democrats in Asia. The Democrats looked like they had most of that, but now they're starting to lose some steam. I think if the Democrats were able to take out the fascists, we would see a more even fight, because that's a lot of factories there. And the fascists would definitely surrender to the Democrats, I believe, at this point. Wow, that's insane. So the communists still don't look very healthy in North America, even with that defeat. They're kind of squished in here between two quite powerful factions, and they were losing to begin with. They didn't have a lot of troops left to begin with, so they're still probably going to lose out in North America, and we're going to have a fascist versus democracy fight in North America. Communism, though, could look to secure South America, and then they're going to have quite the fight against fascism once they get up into South America. That, you never know, though. It really depends on how many troops they had to begin with. I wasn't paying that much attention to South America, so I don't really know. No idea. Although the fascists are moving quite quickly into Saudi Arabia right now against the communists, so we'll see how that works out. We will see. It all depends on whether the commies can pull out a bunch of units really, really quickly or not, which you just don't know. You never know. The lines are so static, like everything's moving, and then somebody will counterattack, and then it's just, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it's hard to say where this could all go. I don't really know who my vote's for either, if you're wondering. The communists look like they're pretty poised, but the Democrats have been doing very, very well, and they're quite strong, but it's hard to say whether the commies will push back. The fascists now are getting squished by the commies here and the Democrats in Asia, which isn't great. Because I think if the fascists fall, I don't know who they're going to fall to, because they would have fallen definitely to the Democrats before, but the communists are now taking so much land here that they could, excuse me, fall to them. And the Democrats are starting to fight back in Japan now. So if they take Nagasaki, that could be the end of the fascists, because they're not doing too hot. Communists aren't either, to be fair. They're 85% towards capitulation. If somebody is quick at taking out the rest of their North American land here, and the Democrats are quick enough to take a lot of like Ukrainian land and very valuable land in what's left of the Balkans, they could still capitulate. And I could see a fascism versus democracy fight for the end, but it's hard to say whether that'll happen. The fascists are actually, they pushed back in the Caucasus. They had lost a lot of lands south of the Caucasus Mountains here. Like, they were being pushed back into southern Georgia, parts of Armenia. They started to push back. They're actually north of the Caucasus Mountains now. I think the communists are starting to overextend themselves a little bit, because they have a lot of fronts to fight on, and they're fighting two enemies at once. So it's not like their enemies are going to be overextending themselves too much. They might a little bit, but not by a whole lot. The fascists are starting to push back too in India. They're looking at taking the Democrats completely out of Asia, which is totally possible. With the exception, of course, of Japan, as the Democrats now are moving into Japan. The Democrats could take Nagasaki right now. There's nothing defending it. They could walk into it right now, which is not good for fascism. Not good for them at all. Yeah, the North American holdings for communism are gone. Washington's going to be a big one. That'll be a big hit for communism once it falls. It's not really a lot in the Midwest, Little Rock, sure. This area of Mississippi, sure. What's this here? Birmingham, yeah, couple. Not a whole lot of big cities, you know, Tulsa, sure, but there's not a lot of big cities going on here, so they're not really going to lose much out of North America now. That's pretty much it. It's really about whether the Democrats can consolidate and push and get into Moscow. They seem to be doing okay, but time will tell on how well they actually do in the end. They still haven't fully taken England, which is weird, because there's a couple of, like Edinburgh, Glasgow is a lot of victory points. Just take that over. It's gonna hurt them. Like, I don't understand why they haven't. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Jeez. Looks like the fascists are having a bit of trouble again in the Caucasus region. They seem to push in and then get pushed back. Seems we have a lot of tug of war there. You know, a lot of back and forth. I think there's a lot of communist divisions in here, though. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot to lose. That's, yeah. So 10 units? 10 units total there that they're going to lose? Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Democrats here. They have no armies. What? They're just pushing on the friggin' commie line with nothing? That's amazing. That's amazing. They're actually pushing really heavy on the commie line. Same with Scandinavia. They're pushing really, really heavily there. Like, the commies have started to almost collapse. They haven't pushed back the fascists in the Caucasus yet. They were a lot faster at that before. The Democrats are pushing into Turkey again. They had stopped that advance for quite some time, but they're pushing back into Turkey. They're losing on India. They are definitely losing India. Nobody is questioning that. They are pushing into China, though. Very slowly, but they are doing it. Probably because the fascists are more concerned about the communists in the north. Ooh, the fascists have pushed the Democrats back out of Japan again. So Nagasaki is probably safe for the time being. They probably won't lose that. I mean, I say probably. You never know. The Democrats don't have many units in Africa. They obviously don't care about Africa, like, at all. I don't really blame them either. I wouldn't care that much. It's not worth enough right now to really bother. You know what I mean? Like, their fight is on this communist front. That's the Democrats' big fight right now. That's where they really need to focus. Defensive on their Asian holdings, definitely. but a mass advance into communist lands on that front. Because if they can take out Moscow, that's really going to screw... Oh, shit. Communism is, like, fucked. Oh, crap. I didn't realize they were that screwed. They're, like, literally about to fall. Holy crap. They lose, like, one more major city. That's it. Like, what are we looking at here? They lose Minsk. That's probably it for them. Or, well, is this line closer to anything like Kiev? Excuse me. Gomel could do it, maybe. It's possible. I would say these Ukrainian cities in here are definitely not a good thing for them to be losing. I think that's Kharkov. No, that's... I forget how to pronounce it. No, Kharkov's right there. There's a lot of areas here that they're fucked. Oh, they're 97%. See, they're pushing in certain areas that's trying to, like, that's barely keeping them breathing. Oh, 99%. Oh, no. Question is, who takes the land? Fascists or Democrats? That's the big question. Democrats have a larger army than fascists, but not by much. Jesus Christ, look at that. 99%. What's keeping them up? What are they taking? Oh, this land in here. Okay, so they're attacking Korea. I see. If they take Beijing, that'll keep them up for a little bit. Well, the Democrats are pushing. Like, heavily. Do they own any major cities in here now? No. No, nothing there. Oh, they took the South. Oh, that's it. The communists... Oh my god. Democracy took it. Fascism took some states as well. Oh, that's gross. That's so gross. Democracy, the one that everybody counted out pretty early in the last one, although I think they were the last outstanding ones fighting the communists, have come back. They own Europe. They own fucking everything. The fascists right now are scrambling. I mean, they're going to keep their capital in Nagasaki, that's for sure. The communists fell before Moscow did, which is interesting. Very interesting. Now, the fascists are 66% towards capitulation. The Democrats are 23%. Let's see if the fascists can really break out and really hurt the Dems, or whether the Democrats will just easily suffocate what's left. North America is going to be the interesting fight zone, I think, because they have pretty even ground overall. I don't know who has the bigger military kicking around in North America, but I guess we'll find out when whoever's there loses. Democracy got a huge chunk of Africa, though. Fascism, though, if they lose the Middle East here, like this area, Middle East, Pakistan, what's left of India, and their Chinese holdings, it'll probably be it for them, honestly. That's a very valuable holding for what they have left. 393 factories, though, so they still have quite a lot. Not close to the 933 the Dems now have, but, you know, it's there. It looks like democracy could win the day, which is quite uplifting compared to the last time. Communism had it, like, hook, line, sinker last time, but maybe not this time. We might have a new victor with this new rebalancing that happened, but we'll see still, because the fascists are pushing in certain areas. I do see them pushing here a little bit, and in India still a little bit. The Democrats haven't really reinforced that. They're not really keeping a hold very well of their Chinese holdings, though, which could be dangerous for them if they lose it, honestly. Excuse me, my goodness. But yeah, that could be dangerous for them if they lose China, because that's going to give the Democrats a lot of units freed up to go against them in India. So they might want to be very careful with losing that. They own some pretty valuable cities, too. Very valuable, like Shanghai, for example. Some very valuable stuff in China that they cannot afford to lose. Have they started to slip? 68%, so not a whole lot. Democrats are 23. Now they're 27. So the fascists are definitely putting a push on the Democrats. They're actually putting a big push on them in Europe right now. I'm kind of surprised that they've managed to keep a hold of all that. But the Dems are not letting them move too far. North America, still too early to tell on that one. The Democrats look like they're not really interested in holding Florida too much, but they're definitely interested in holding this northern area. See, the Florida land has come down to like almost losing it and then bouncing back like 3 or 4 times, so it's really hard to say with that. We're seeing some fascist losses in Africa. Again, some more troops freed up if they lose Africa, so they need to be careful with losing these land areas, because it's just freeing troops up every time they lose it all. Ooh, they just lost Aleppo, which links up the African core with the European core for the Democrats. They've surrounded a few units too, although they still own that port, although that troop could easily take it. I don't know why he's not. Come on, guys. Take the ports. Take the ports. Why are y'all standing around here? Oh, they're on rails. They're headed to the front, man. Do the fascists have anybody in there at all? Why don't you just advance fast? Take it over, you know? Or refocus to where there are troops fighting, you know? Come on. Fascists have actually pulled another big foothold here in China. They've linked up this shore division with their main divisions here, so that's pretty good. I don't know how long that'll last, but we'll see. The Democrats' main push seems to be in Turkey. That's really where they're more so making like real gains. The Italian division stuff going on here is not looking good for the Democrats. Like, come on, guys, pick it up. Clap, clap, let's go. They have some free military factories. Are they still training troops? Oh, they are. Okay, good. Like, you better still be training, honestly. Yes, cut them off. Take that port. Just take that port. Oh, too late. It's too late. Oh, he's like almost dead, though. Oh, he left. Take that port. Kill that unit. There you go. See? Kill these 2 units. Murder them. Surround and kill. The more you do that, the faster fascism will fall. The Democrats are barely hanging on to Hiroshima right now. Oh, man. That would be a big blow if they reinvaded and took fascist Japan. That would be a huge blow. That would really knock them out. 76% towards capitulation right now, hovering between 75 76. So the Dems are still at 27. So the Dems haven't lost anything else. Yeah, they're taking more than the fascists can. So really the only major fight for the fascists is in Italy and somewhat North America, though North America seems to just trade hands all over the... Why did... Really? Baja California? Why? That's such a weird area. And it looks like the Democrats are ruling South America too, for the most part. Yeah. Oh, they retook... fascists had more of Australia than Democrats had, so the Democrats have retaken that, which is good. Really good. An invasion of Jakarta would be really good too. Take all these big cities. Take Jakarta, take pretty much everything on Java. Just take Java and Sumatra. Would be really good. A bigger invasion of Japan would also probably really help them rather than worrying about other shit. Seriously, why are they even lined up here? There's nothing there. Won't matter. Eventually this core will make its way and smush, and then they'll freed up and take out whatever's left. It looks like they are pushing in China again, though. The land looks less, you know? Like, the fascists have been pushing up here, definitely. But the land looks less in mainland, like main China. And they're getting pushed back. Looks like Africa's still stalemated. Nothing's really moved. It's pretty boring. Oh well. And then the fascists in North America, they're still fighting it out, duking her out. You never know who'll win that one. Oh, they've trapped some fascist units and stuff there. That's not good. So they've trapped them in this port. Looks like they're going to take that port. That poor one there. Oh, there we go. And they're going to take that guy there, who's slowly dying of attrition. Oh, the fascists landed somebody in there. It's not good. Looks like there's a bit of pushback going on in Italy now, thank God. Come on, guys, take Rome. Take out Rome and Naples. That'll really hurt the fascist cause. It's one of their strongholds, man. It's Mussolini's holding out. That's who's there. It's not Hitler's shadow. It's Mussolini's shadow. Dun dun dun. Oh my. Who leads the Democrats again? Oh right, Winston Churchill. You're gonna be happy, very very happy soon. The fascists are on their collapse now. Oh, they've delinked them, the Chinese here, so they're slowly gonna surround the Chinese divisions. Did they make another landing? Well, they did, but they're gonna get killed. They're actually starting to push back in India now. It's not looking good for the fascists. What are we at now? Ooh, 82%. 82%. Democracy will be the leading force in this world very shortly. Unless the fascists pull something out of their ass. Excuse me. I just want to see them capitulate at this point. And it's just watching them die and seeing big sea of blue democracy. The whole world will soon know what it is to vote for your president's person. What happened here? The Democrats pushed out, and then... What? What? Take Nagasaki somehow. Make a naval invasion at Nagasaki, and it'll all be over. That'll kill them. That will cripple them. Rather than just fighting with the same three guys. They're doing very well, those three guys. Oh, he just invaded south. Keep going. Take Nagasaki. Do it. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Believe me, you'll feel so much better. They're already collapsing. Just take it. End their misery. What do they have for manpower, actually, the fascists? 5.82 million. So still actually quite respectable. They're pretty close to that. What's the losses? 1.61 mil to 707,000. So the Democrats are definitely doing way better. And they're 86% still. So no major losses to the fascists since we last checked. Looks like the front here in Italy is starting to do better. They're winning all of their attacks now. Fascists look like they're running out of steam. Keep pushing. Come on, keep pushing. You could kill that guy. You could brutally murder him in his sleep. He called your wife a whore. Murder him. Such a slow collapse, though. The fascists are putting up one hell of a resistance. I'll give them that. It's a very slow collapse. And they're going to hold on to Shanghai, too, for a while, I bet. They got the one guy there. Oh, there's two of them. Yeah, they're defending Shanghai. I don't blame them. That'd be a big loss. Is there any major cities still sitting here? Jinan. Beijing is under democratic control. There's really no major cities really anymore. There's a few small ones, but nothing major. A lot of fascist major stuff is here in North America, I think. I think North America is probably there, yeah. Democrats are definitely winning in North America now. They've pushed south pretty heavy. Oh, and the Democrats have pushed into Italy as well. Looks like they naval invaded here on the boot and are moving up. So they're going to surround the remaining fascist forces, which is good. That's what they need to do. They really need to successfully navally invade Japan, though. That's what they really need to do. So I really don't know if the fascists will actually collapse with... Oh, well, no, yeah, they will. They will. Ooh, they're about to lose Shanghai. They've lost that city. I forget the name of it. One of Shanghai. It's in Shanghai province, but it's a big city. They've already lost that. They need to lose Shanghai, though. Oh, they just retook it. Those bastards. Come on, guys. Kick them out of there. Well, they got a lot of divisions in here, too. Wow, I didn't even realize. So they got Vladivostok, which is one of their big last holdings on the mainland. I didn't realize they had all that. They've been pushed back, though, pretty heavily. The Democrats have pushed into Africa some more down the east coast a little bit. Looks like they're also wiping them out of South America now, too. The fascists are still putting up their best fight in North America, though, to give them credit. That's definitely their best fight. Ooh, 98% towards capitulation. Uh-oh. They are not far off of getting kicked out. They're about to lose Shanghai and this other city here. That's gonna probably... That might actually do it. Oh, no. They're 96 now. 97. Oh. Point 98. Yep. Shanghai was worth a lot. Vladivostok probably also worth quite a bit. Definitely something the Democrats want to try and take. What's left in here? They want to just take what's left. They'll capitulate losing this and this. They'll definitely capitulate. They're on their last legs. I think they're 99% now. Yeah. Really? You just got to armament effort? Are you serious, Democrats? Jesus Christ. Oh, 96. What did they retake? What did they take back? What did they take back? Dang. Nothing. They didn't take anything. They just somehow jumped back to 96%. Wow. Lucky sons of bitches there. Oh, I think they took Bombay back. I think that might be it. Yeah, because the Democrats are getting pushed there. They're not doing very well there. Won't matter soon enough. Oh, Naples is going to fall. That's going to be a big one. Naples is 20? Wow. What is Palomero? 20 as well. So they pushed them into Sicily. That's huge. Oh, they're back down to 99%. They lose Naples here. That's it. They're fighting now kind of for Naples. That could be it. If they kill them in Naples. Take Naples. That's huge. Still 99%. Oh, that's it. It's over. It's over. It's all over. Fascists are now a puppet, or at least they're truced. They have no units, though. Oh, they have like 20. They could just immediately go back to war with them, though. Doesn't even matter. Democracy wins. Congratulations to anybody that commented democracy. Thank you much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.